And there's probably two ways to enter retirement. One is with a plan that shows you what you're going to do for all that. And one is hoping you have enough, kind of guessing, taking out a certain amount and hoping it lasts as long as you do.
Yeah, a lot of times families will take kind of a short-term view. I just want to make these decisions over this next year. That doesn't always work out great. We want to think about a more longer-term view. Let's take a look at an example. And in this particular case, we've got Jill as our example. She's age 64, planning to retire just 1 year from now. As Jill starts to think about all those decisions that are in front of her, she's not really thinking about a longer-term view. She's more so thinking just short-term, right in front of me. I know I need to make this decision. I think this is the right decision, or maybe I'm guessing that I hope this is the right decision. And let's just walk through some of the things that are in front of her. So the first one she has is that Social Security decision. In her mind, she knows that her full retirement age is 67, and she thinks, well, that's a pretty solid benefit at 67. It's about $27.50 per month for the rest of her life. That feels pretty good, so she decides, I think I'll plan on taking Social Security at 67, her full retirement age, maybe not really even realizing that she could elect as soon as 62 and can get growth on that benefit if she waits all the way out until age 70. She's thinking more narrowly, I know my full retirement age is 67, that's what I'm gonna do. Jill's really fortunate to have a pension. Only about a quarter of those individuals that are retiring today do have a fixed pension, and Jill knows that that benefit is going to be $2,500 a month for the rest of her life, and so she's just going to plan to take that on a monthly basis because she knows when she adds Social Security and the pension together, that gives her a really solid base to meet her monthly expenses, which she's estimating to be about $5,500 per month. She knows that she's just a couple $100s away through the current guaranteed income by taking Social Security at 67 and taking her pension on a monthly basis. She's really close to meeting her monthly expenses. So she thinks this is probably going to work out great, but just kind of making those decisions one-off in a siloed approach, she doesn't realize maybe the larger picture, which is a few years down the road. Let's think about 15 years down the road. Now Jill's 80. What we show is that a projection would be that she has about $175,000 left of her spendable retirement assets. Over time, her expenses have grown, and she didn't really account for that and that impact over the long run. Now, Jill's got longevity on her side. Her family has all lived into their 90s. She's planning to do so as well. And in her case, she finds that as she depletes those assets later in her 80s, she'll actually probably run out of money around 86. And as Jill thinks about this, she's thinking, wow, this is not the outcome that I desire, that I want. And so we can look at those decisions that she made and make just a few small alterations to it with a more longer term and more holistic approach. Now she might find that she could make some different decisions and improve that outcome of running out of money at age 86. Let's take a look at those. The first one is Social Security. Instead of relying on her spendable assets for the first 2 years of retirement, now Jill's saying, okay, I'm gonna actually turn on Social Security right when I retire, have that continuation of steady income. She's also thinking, and that would be about $2,300 per month, again, guaranteed for the rest of her life. She's also got that pension decision. Now, for Jill's particular case, her company also offers the lump sum payout. And she kind of thought, I like that stability of that monthly income guaranteed. Didn't really even evaluate the lump sum potential. But if she takes a longer view, she would find that that actually could be the best way to utilize that asset because the payback on her pension is about an 18-year payback. It's pretty high, and so she might be better served to take that pension lump sum, and that equates to about $540,000 that's now going to be added to her investable assets. When it comes to her expenses, taking a deeper dive, Jill actually finds that over the next 10 years, her expenses aren't going to be $5,500 forever. She's going to find that she's got a lot of trips that she wants to do in those first 10 years of retirement, after which she knows her expenses are going to start to trim back a little bit. And she also knows that her mortgage is going to drop off. So in a deeper dive, thinking of a more long-term view approach, she knows that her expenses at $5,500 are going to continue to go up, but as those expenses drop off, she'd find that 10 years from now, she's actually going to be more about $4,700 per month as her expenses, and then that $4,700 will continue to climb throughout the rest of her retirement. Now, just making those few short changes, what we can see is that it's a very, very different outcome for Jill. All things similar, just taking that pension lump sum, taking Social Security sooner, and then thinking about a really good dive of her expenses, she finds that now at age 80, she actually has $800,000 of spendable assets still remaining. This puts her in a position compared to the 175 where she feels a lot better about being at age 80, having those type of assets that she can rely on to continue the rest of her life. We go out to age 90. Remember before she was running out of money at 86, now out to age 90, which again, Jill believes she's got longevity on her side. She wants to plan for this 90 and age 100 part of her plan. Taking that longer term view, now she has an outcome of having still about $600,000 left of spendable assets at age 90 to be able to draw from for some of those later in life costs that are ultimately going to rear their head. So taking that longer term view approach makes a very big difference in the outcome for Jill's particular case.
Clint, that example perfectly illustrated the power of planning on so many different levels. I mean, probably the most important level is if Jill didn't put that plan together, she would not have identified the decisions that she could have made. She wouldn't have known that she was going to run out of money in her early 80s until it was too late to make changes to the plan. She wouldn't have realized there was a more optimal pension decision, a more optimal Social Security decision, but because she went through the planning, she realized that what was initially her goal or plan probably would have been better suited with different strategies. And then she turned it in from running out of money in her early 80s to having over $800,000 surplus much later down the road. So powerful for Jill, not only to be able to live the lifestyle that she wants to live, but having confidence as she is making those permanent decisions going to retirement.
Yeah, and they were somewhat small changes. It's not like you told Jill she had to work 3 more years or told Jill she had to get another part-time job, but you just said, let's make a few different changes to that. Also, the takeaway for me is it's not too late for 64. Jill did this at 64, and look what better position she put herself in for retirement just a year later.
Absolutely. She's got a lot of those decisions still out there. Now's a great time for her to get that plan together. And if you think maybe if she didn't have that longer term view, she might be more inclined to say, well, I'm going to run out of money at 86. I need to keep working for another year, right. 2 years, 3 years. I mean, you can see that having that shorter term view, she could maybe feel like, I don't know if I can ever retire.